Okay, this is Mr. Payne here. Hello. In this video, I'm going to show you all how to start messing around with Geogebra. Alright, so first you're going to go to geogebra.org. And what this thing is, it's just kind of like a suite of tools for messing around with geometric figures on the computer. Alright, so you should be on geogebra.org. You're going to go to sign in up here. And then you need to create an account, so go down to create account. You're going to go ahead and use your Google account, so just click Google. And then you can type in or select your school account if it comes up. Alright, and now you should be, I already had an account, so I didn't have to do fill out any more information. If you don't have an account, there's some prompts you're going to need to follow. Just fill out the information, finish making your account, and then you should get back to this screen. When you get back to this screen, the home page, you're going to click these 9 rectangles right here, or 9 squares, and then go to Geometry. Now make sure at this point you look up here to see if there's some kind of icon. If it says sign in, make sure you click here and make sure that you're signed in. Alright, so that way you can save your work in case you don't finish in class. Okay, so now here's our blank page. What we want to do is we want to see our coordinate plane, and we also want grid lines. So we're going to click the settings right here. First we're going to click show axes. Okay, now we've got an X and Y axis. And then we're also on show grid. We're going to click major grid lines. Alright, now we have a pretty good looking coordinate plane. And for the work for today and tomorrow, you're going to have 4 tasks plus a bonus task to complete. On each of those tasks, you want to make sure you do this first so that you have a nice screen to work with. Alright, so that was kind of the introduction. Let's move on to task 1 now. So task 1 wants you to find a midpoint. So you're going to click this point tool right here and go ahead and place a point anywhere on this grid. Let's put mine right here. And then if I go back to the move point and then I click, I have a few options here. I can change the color of the point, I can change the size, I can delete it, or I can mess around the labeling. If I click this, I can change the name of my point to whatever I want. And then if I click show value, it shows me the location of the point. Alright, so now I have a point, I called it Z, and I've got the location. Next, make a second point, wherever you like. Again, make sure you label this point. Let's show the value. Okay, and now we're going to make a segment. So I click the segment tool, and if you click the 2 points, you should have a segment between them. Now we're going to use the midpoint tool. I don't see the midpoint tool here, so what I do is I click more, and now we see there's more tools. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. I'm going to click on the midpoint tool right there, and then it says select 2 points. Okay, so I'll select Z and A, and now it went ahead and constructed my midpoint. And let's select that point, show the value. And now it's done for us. It's shown that the midpoint of -6,2 and -1, -2 is -3.5, 0. Now, what you can also do, if you feel like messing around with your points, you can go to Settings, and there's a lot of things you can do. So you can change the color of your point, you can make it bigger, to be honest, I don't really know what this thing does. And then if you want to get real fancy, you can use the actual computer script to change the objects, but I have not learned that skill just yet. Okay, so we're almost done. What I want you to do now is label this with your name. So you're going to go down to Text, click somewhere on your screen away from your segment, and just go ahead and type your name, task 1, and today's date. And again, whoops, if you want to change that text, go to the Move button. So now I can move that around if I like. And I can also, if I go to Settings, I can mess around with the font. Although I guess they only give me 2 options. You might be able to figure out more. I can play with the color. We can also do a background color. And that's pretty much it. So this is kind of what your completed task 1 should look like. Now, let's say you were working on this and you couldn't finish in time. What you could do is you would go over here to the main menu and you just go to Save, right? And then you can save your Geogebra project on your Google Drive, and then you can mess around with it later. So if we wanted to save this, we'd call it task 1. And we'd save that. And now it should be saved in our account. So if I go to Open, it has all my stuff there, okay? But for me, to hand this in, what you need to do is go back to your main menu, go to Download As, and then click PNG. And yeah, call it task1.png, export. Should download, and now you have a picture that you can attach on Canvas to show that you completed task 1. And again, just make sure your name is on there, task 1, today's date. Okay, so that ends the video for task 1. If you want a tutorial on the rest of the tasks, click the corresponding videos.